Something is happening behind the closed doors of Buckingham Palace, something so explosive, so unprecedented, that it threatens to tear the British monarchy apart at its very seams. In the last 24 hours, sources inside the royal household have confirmed what many have suspected for months. King Charles III, the man who waited over 70 years to wear the crown, has made a decision so shocking, so utterly devastating, that it has left the entire royal family in complete chaos. He has taken the crown from his own wife, Queen Camilla, and given it to someone else, someone younger, someone more popular, someone the British public has been begging to see on the throne. Catherine, Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, the future queen. To understand the magnitude of what we're about to reveal, we need to go back, way back, to a love story that scandalized a nation and nearly destroyed the monarchy itself. Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles. Their romance began in the early 1972, long before Diana Spencer ever entered the picture. But royal duty, family pressure, and the rigid expectations of the British establishment tore them apart. Charles married Diana. Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles. And for 2 decades, they lived separate lives. But the love never died. And when Diana's marriage to Charles crumbled in the most public, most humiliating way imaginable, the world watched in horror as the people's princess was cast aside. Camilla became the most hated woman in Britain, the villain in a national fairy tale gone wrong. For years, Camilla lived in the shadows, the other woman, the homewrecker, the woman who, in the eyes of millions, was responsible for Diana's pain. When Diana tragically died in 1997, the hatred only intensified. Camilla couldn't appear in public without facing booing, protests, and vicious media attacks. Yet Charles never gave up on her. In 2005, against all odds in public opinion, they finally married in a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall. No grand cathedral, no royal spectacle, just a quiet, almost apologetic union that the Queen herself refused to attend the religious blessing of. And then in May 2023, the impossible happened. After years of careful public rehabilitation, Camilla was crowned Queen Consort alongside Charles at Westminster Abbey. 70 years of waiting, a lifetime of scandal, and finally she stood where she had always wanted to be, by Charles's side, wearing a crown. But that crown, that hard-won, controversial crown, may have already been taken from her. According to multiple sources with direct knowledge of palace affairs, King Charles has made a decision that no one, not his advisors, not his family, and certainly not Camilla, saw coming. In a private meeting held just days ago at Sandringham House, Charles reportedly informed Camilla that he was stripping her of several key royal privileges and titles. But it doesn't stop there. The most explosive revelation: Charles has allegedly designated Catherine, Princess of Wales, as the primary female figure in the monarchy, effectively sidelining his own wife in favor of his daughter-in-law. Yes, you heard that correctly. The king has chosen Kate over Camilla. Now, let's be clear about what this means. We're not talking about a formal divorce or a complete removal of Camilla's title, at least not yet. What we're talking about is a fundamental shift in power, a reorganization of the royal hierarchy that places Kate at the center of the monarchy's public image, while Camilla is pushed to the margins. Sources say Camilla's role in state ceremonies has been dramatically reduced. Her seat at the annual diplomatic reception moved from Charles's right hand to a position further down the table. Her presence at the state opening of Parliament minimized. Even her official portrait, the one commissioned to hang in the royal collection, has reportedly been delayed indefinitely. Oh, the crown. That's where things get truly unbelievable. According to one particularly explosive report from a well-connected royal insider, Charles has ordered that Camilla's coronation crown, the one she wore for less than an hour on that historic May Day, be placed in the Tower of London's vaults. Not on display, not in a museum, but locked away, out of sight, as if its very existence is an embarrassment. And in its place, Kate has been given unprecedented access to the crown jewels. Sources claim she has already been fitted for several pieces historically reserved for the Queen Consort. King Charles is not a well man. We all know about his cancer diagnosis. Announced publicly in February 2024, Charles's battle with an unspecified form of cancer has been the elephant in every royal room. While the palace has maintained that treatment is progressing positively, insiders paint a very different picture. According to sources close to the king, his health has deteriorated far more rapidly than the public has been told. One insider described him as frailer than he appears in photographs, noting that public appearances are carefully managed with rest periods, medical support on standby, and heavy makeup to mask the toll the illness has taken. Charles knows, and everyone around him knows, that his time on the throne may be far shorter than anyone hoped. He's 75 years old, he's fighting cancer, and he's watched his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, serve until her final breath at 96. He doesn't have that luxury. He doesn't have that time. And that brings us to Prince William and Catherine, the Prince and Princess of Wales, the future king and queen. Can you imagine the woman who gave up everything for him, who endured decades of humiliation, who stood by him when the world turned its back? And in the end, he cast her aside like she was nothing. Camilla reportedly left the room in tears. She has not been seen in public since. Palace officials claim she is resting at her private residence in Wiltshire, but insiders say she is devastated, betrayed, broken. Meanwhile, Prince William and Kate have maintained careful silence, no statements, no interviews, just a series of perfectly choreographed public appearances where Kate looks radiant, confident, and very much like a woman who knows she's about to become the most powerful woman in Britain. Sources close to William say he is deeply uncomfortable with his father's treatment of Camilla. He may not have been her biggest fan. The memory of his mother's pain still haunts him. Not even Kate Camilla, the other woman who became the queen only to be discarded when she was no longer useful. And Kate, the golden girl, the perfect princess. But for how long? What happens when she's no longer young, no longer popular, no longer useful to the monarchy's image? Will Charles or William cast her aside too? Is there any woman strong enough, perfect enough, beloved enough to survive the House of Windsor? The answer, if history is any guide, is no. King Charles' shocking betrayal of Camilla is more than just palace gossip. It's a warning, a glimpse into the cold, calculating heart of an institution that values survival above all else, including love, loyalty, and basic human decency. This is the story of the British monarchy in 2026, a story of power, betrayal, and the endless, ruthless pursuit of survival. And it's far from over. If you were shocked by this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more explosive royal revelations.